So we are entering function. Let me ensure that this thing is recording. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So we are going to create a new file called function.py. So on your terminal, you create a file, call it function.what.py. So let's look at function.py. Okay, I think I started function last class, but I didn't do a lot on it. Abi? I think I started it last class. So,
Yes, I think so.
because I can see it here. So, last class I said you define a function with a def. Then I also said followed by the name of your function. So I said function name. Bracket open and close in front of it. Then you have your statements. So I gave the first function def greet. So this function, when we run this function, you are expecting to have this statement executed. The first thing is to tell you good evening divine. The next thing is to give you the calculation addition between this and give you the result. So that's what this function does. It's just a simple function. You can see there, good evening divine, then it gave you your result. So now let's look at function with a parameter. Function with a parameter. Let me see what these guys are going to generate for me. Okay, not bad, not bad. Accept. Now, please, I hope you are getting what I'm looking at. Let me put a line statement here. So when a function is having a parameter, it means that the function is carrying something inside the brackets. Please, if you look at this one, you know that there's nothing inside these brackets. Are you getting it? Now, when a
Yeah.
function is carrying a parameter, it means that you have something inside your brackets. Please, another word for parameter is arguments. Some programmers will call it argument. You can see that even the Python is telling you that this is a what? A parameter. Now, anytime you have a function with a parameter and you want to call that particular function, you feed that function with a value. Alright? Like you can see in the end now that I said good evening. In code, this is a template string. So I'm calling this variable I have here called name inside here. So what this function will do for me, it will tell you that, oh, good evening, whatever name I pass here. So the name I pass here right now is divine. Let's say I pass in something like Stalin here. I pass in Stalin here, then I run it. You see that you're having good evening Stalin 50. So addition of this and this, that's what it's giving. So whatever you pass here is what the argument or the parameter will feed upon. Do you understand? Let me give you
Yeah.
another example again. Let's say this time around, it's not only name I have. Let's say my argument is num1. All right. So you can have two arguments, num1 and num2. I can even have name self again there. All right. I can also have my name there. So a function can have multiple words, parameter or arguments. All right. So what this one we do now is, you know that I said return This one is giving me return num1 plus what? Plus num2, abi? I can also say, okay, oh, no, n1 plus n2. I can say num1, all right, plus what? What? Num2. Num1 plus num2. This is num1 plus num2. Now you see this parameter that I have here. I have to feed an argument for it inside the function call. So I can say, okay, oh, let's say 10 comma what 30. If I run this program, I will still be in a very, very good shape. So what I'm having here now is telling me that I can only concatenate string, not what int. Can only concatenate string, not what int. So what's going on there is because I have where is my concatenation coming from? This one is printing out results. Are you getting it? This one is printing out result. You have to learn how to debug. So what I'm going to do for this program to run, because I'm going to turn this on to, if I turn it to a string, let me turn it to a string. So I'll pass my result inside that. So let me run it again and see. Can only concatenate what string, not what int. Line 32. All right. So what this guy is seeing here now, he's seeing these people as what? He's seeing these people as string. So let me also correct this part. STRO, I'll pass it here, then I'll close this on here. Converted it to a string. So let's see what I'm going to have. Can only concatenate string, not what int. Line 32. So let me just return this. That's why the error is coming.
The N1 and N2, yeah.
So let me just return this. So if I run this now, can only concatenate 32. Oh, can only concatenate string, not int. This is not a string. All right, so what I was supposed to do here is I was supposed to pass in a return statement. If you have something like that, you pass a return statement. So this should work for me now. So let me comment this one out. So if I run this now, can only concatenate string, not int. Line 32. Where is the string here now? Num1, num2. Something is going on here. Okay, let me take this example. How come he's seeing this one as concatenation? All right. So if you observe what's going on here, I gave this plus this is not supposed to give me 40 now. How come it's giving me? All right, I've not printed my results. I think I'm good. So what I'm going to have here should be results. So you can see that I'm having 40 here. So the reason why I was having that error was because I combined integer with string inside here. Do you get it? This name here, that styling I passed here is string. So At the end of the execution of the statement, it said, "Oh, I cannot combine them together." So what happened here is
Sir,
now,
please, what did you say? Sir,
did you hear me?
no, no, no. What did you say? You said the reason why it did not
The
work.
reason why it did not work was because I have a string here. Hmm?
Okay.
I have Stalin here. Stalin is a string. I'm combining with integer
Yes.
and this. So it's going to give me error. The
Integer,
error is
yes.
not even coming from line 32. I don't know if you understand, because my line
Okay.
32, num1 and num2,
It's
they are
okay.
both integer. So it's because of when
Yes.
I call the function here, this Stalin I pass here, which is a string, and I'm now attaching it to integer. That's why it gave me the error. So if peradventure I remove this one here, all right, I have to print out the results inside here. So it will work fine now. So that's one thing about programming. All right, because of this name argument, are you seeing it? I didn't call it. So now this one will not work, because anytime you pass in an argument or anytime you pass the parameter, make sure you call the parameter or you feed the parameter with whatever you want to pass in. Do you understand? If you don't, it will not work. Oh, you have error. So good evening, Stanley. Good evening, Stanley. All right. You can see that he's picking Stanley because Stanley is inside. Yeah. Right. I think this one is running in place of this one. So with this one now, where is this one running from? Is what I'm trying to figure out. All right. I think, yeah, I'm okay. So this one came. This one is running from here. Good evening, Stanley is coming from here. Why this is the one that we said, okay, give addition of this to this. Let me give you another example. Uh, let's say I have a function that I want to use that to impute the number by themselves. All right, but I'm using function with what? With multiple words, parameter or words arguments. Let's say def. So this function is to multiply three numbers. Are you with me? So let's say num1, num1, num2, num what, num3. So I have got to have something here. Okay, so what you should expect me to do, we said if you want user to impute value by themselves, you use the word, the input method, right? So I can say,
Yeah.
okay, num1 equals to uh, int, because let's call it float. I think it's Sally that did that. The reason why we need to call it float is because we want it to carry decimal number also. uh, Enter your first number. So I'm going to duplicate this. This is num2. This is num3. So it should be second. Then this one should be third. So this is num3. So I have this declared inside here. Now, another question you asked me now, you notice that this is not grading out. Why is it not graded? Because I have num already declared here. So it's not good for me to use num. Let me use nu. 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 So this one will become nu. 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 Alright. So my results is gonna be nu1. Yep. Nu1. Since I say it's multiplication, multiply by nu2 multiply by nu what 3. So I will now print out what results. So the next thing I will do now, I need to call the function for this to work. The function name is mul. So listen now. Now, uh, if I call this function hmm, like this, something is going to happen. If I say 10, comma 20, comma 30, let's run this. Enter num1, I enter 40. Enter num2, I enter 60. Enter num3, I enter 10. You can see that I have my results, which is going to be what 24,000. But it's not picking what I have here. Please pay attention. It's not picking what I have here. But by the time I did not pass anything here, I call it like that, I'll be in a very, very big problem. Are you seeing it? It says missing three required position arguments, none1, none2, and none3. So anytime you have a function with a parameter, you must put in what? A uh, a value, which we call what? Arguments. Please hope we understand. Hello?
Not
Hello?
really.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me come back again. Now, when I pass in value inside, let's say I pass in 20, I pass in 10, I pass in 5, and I trigger this problem, trigger this program, you notice that this one is multiplying what I pass here. Let's say 60 times 2 so that we're able to figure it out times 1. This one is 120. Are you seeing that it's working 120? But if you multiply 60 times 10, 60 times 10 is supposed, sorry, 20 times 10 is supposed to be 200. 200 times 5 is supposed to be what? 1000. True or false? So
Yeah.
if I say,
True.
okay, I'm not passing this argument inside, I bring this function like that without an argument. All right, I run it like this. All right, and I commented this one out. It's not going to run because it's going to flag an error. Do you know why it's flagging an error? Because here I pass in 3 argument or 3 parameter, and yeah, I'm not passing it.
Argument.
So the function is not seeing something to work on. Do you understand?
Okay.
The function is not
Yeah.
seeing something to what to work on. But by the time I comment this out, I won't have that error even when this one is empty. So let's see something new. 4, 5, 2. Are you seeing that? When the function executes, okay, the function tries to execute, but when it get to this particular end here, it's not seeing this thing, so it stop working. All right. So anytime you
Yeah.
declare a function that you have a parameter inside, please, when you are calling that function, always ensure you put something what inside your parameter, which is called value. Please, is that understood?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
now a function can have another way to figure out the problem that we just brought here. A function can have a default word argument. Hello? A function can have a default argument. You see this program that did not work before, this one that did not work, I want to make it work. I will say num1, let's say I say num1 equals to 20. I say num2 equals to, let's say num2 is equals to 10. Then num3, I say num3 equals to 5. I didn't pass anything here. See this program, it's not going to flag that error again. If I pass in my value, I say, let's say 50 times 2 times 3. I get 50 times 2 is what? That's 100. 100 times 3 is what? It's not 300. So it's working.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I did not put anything here. So this type of a
Yeah.
solution now, we call it a function with a default argument. It means
Yeah.
that
Okay.
when you call your parameter, you set it to something. So I set this one to 20, I set this one to 10, I set this one to 3. But that is not what I'm working with. Alright? It's working, the operation is working with what I want to enter. Am I making any sense? So that's another way
Yeah.
of resolving this particular word error.
So
But
what's the need for the the second value that we are adding there now?
this one,
Since we are working with the input.
This one, this the need for this second
Yeah,
value is because you don't want it to flag error when you call the empty function. You can see this function is not having anything inside. You don't want it to
yes, yes.
flag error. That's the need for this. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because
Is
if
it
I
just a random value or it has to be something we are working
it
on?
is you, it is you that will decide. If I put 10
Oh,
here, if I put 5 here or anything, it will still work. So it's a random value, anything that you decide.
okay.
That but this example I just gave, we call it a function with a default argument. Hmm?
Yeah.
So let's continue. Now let's not talk about return statement because I tried to do a return statement earlier inside my function. I was having error, but let's see an example that will make use of a return statement. Let's say I have a function here, def. Uh, Let me not use addition. Let's say hello. Understanding of function is very very important. Say hello. I want to say I want an argument of day. Then I also want to say name. Are you getting it? Day and what? Name. Now I can say okay, if I say return day, are you getting it? Comma, I said name. Now, one thing you need to know, you see that when I pass in that return statement and I press enter, my cursor went back to the beginning of the what? Of the function.
Yeah.
Hello? It went back to the beginning of the function. It means that it has disobeyed indentation rule. Because for this to be a function, every program I'm writing must be here. Every code I'm writing must be inside here. The next one must be inside there. Are you getting it? So anything
Yes.
that break out of this and come here, you are no longer inside that function again. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So what a return
Yeah.
statement does in a function is that it break the function. As in it take you out of the what? Out of the function. Now,
Okay.
if you try to say hello, you run it, all right? You try to call it, it will not work. It's not that you are wrong. Please let me comment this one now so that I won't, especially this asking for values. Say hello. Are you seeing it now? Require missing argument. Let's say okay, oh, I pass the missing argument. Let's say day. Today date is 15th of October 2020 what? 5. Then I have to pass in another one again. Let's say this is uh Divine Stanley. All right. You can see that I fulfilled this one here. This error that you are seeing here. Part of programming, you have to learn how to understand error and how to debug it. But you see that I won't have anything. I see that it's not still running. Despite the fact that I call the function, it's not bringing my results. So how do I get my results? Despite the fact that I have the print statement. So how you get your results is that you will pass in, sorry, a print statement outside the function. You wrap this in inside a print statement. Are you getting it? You wrap this inside a print statement. So if I run it
Yeah.
now, I'll be in a very good shape. You can see it's October 15, 2025, Divine Word Sterling. So when a function is having a return, because that return statement will break you out of the function, you trigger the function with a print statement. Then you pass the function name inside. Question. Or should I need to give another example?
I understand.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This I should give another example.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me give an example of addiction. Let's say def add. I'm adding two number. I call this first one num1. I'll call this second one num2. So I now say return num1 abi plus num2. All right, you can see that it took me out of the function. So for me to
Yeah.
print out that function now, I'm going to pass in print. I'll call the function. My function is hard. So I will now pass the argument. Let's say I want to say 20 plus what? Plus 10. So if I run it now, I'll be in a very good shape. I think I have 30. But if I did not pass that print statement, let's say I call the function here, the program will just be looking at my face. No error, but you can see that it's not executing. So anytime you're having this return statement, you call your function with a print words, a print statement. That's just it. Divine, are you good? Divine, are you good? Is it there? Stanley, can I continue?
Yes. I'm
All right.
fine.
Okay. We want to move on to another kind of a function. All those functions that I've just explained, you can see that it is me. It is me that decide the name I want to call it. All right. We call
Yes.
those functions user defined words function. Those functions are called user defined for because you are the one that say the name, you are the one that call what you want to do. There's another kind of function called anonymous function. It's Python that have it too. It's only Python that have this. I think other programming languages don't have it. Anonymous functions are nameless functions, or they call them nameless what? Functions. So now when you are declaring an anonymous function, you use your lambda keyword. You use your lambda word keyword. And this is the syntax. I will do give you syntax. The syntax for a lambda function is the lambda keyword. Alright. The lambda keyword followed by arguments. You pass in a column, then you go for your what? Expression. Alright. Then this is just the syntax. Your lambda keyword, you go for your argument, then you go for expression. I hope you know what argument is now. Arguments are those variables, those things, like I said this can be parameter or argument. So all those
Yeah.
alphabets are called arguments. All right, all those things you pass it, they are called argument. But why this one expression? Expression has to do with something that has to do with an operation, like x plus y. X plus y is no longer argument. X plus y is now an expression. Why is it expression? Because of the operator plus. Are you getting it now? But if you are looking at x on its own and y on its own, it is called what? Arguments. All right, so let's see an example now. So I have, let's say I have lambda. You can see that this one will be straightforward. I want to add two number equals to lambda. All right, then two number x x comma what? Y comma, then I said x plus what? Plus y. X comma y, x plus y. So what do you want me to do now? I have to call my function with a print statement hard. So what I'm going to have here now is, let's say I pass in 30 comma 80. So I'm expecting to have a result of 110. Are you seeing it? So what I'm saying that
Yeah.
x is an argument, y is an argument, column, this is an expression. And the expression I'm doing here is addition. So I can turn this on to multiplication. That will be an asterisk. Alright? So that will be 80 times
Yeah.
what? So that is an expression. Now the question you asked me, Mr. Emmanuel, is it that I can't do something with alphabets, print out a result of alphabet? You can do it. Alright, let me give you an example. So let's say I want to print out, like I wrote under my user defined function, I want to say, okay, say hello or greet. So what I'm going to do, I can say hello equals to, I'll call my lambda. All right, lambda says I need to have x, then column. I need to have my what? My x. So what I'm going to do here, uh, print, I can say print CLO.
Mhm.
So that will be a string. I can say good evening. So I will still be in a very good shape. Good evening. Are you seeing it? How do you twist it? All right. I want the user to enter. I want it to be user imputed. I like to actually twist my program. Um, let's say I said this. I just want to try something new. Uh, uh, Input. Um, Enter your name. Enter your name here. This is going to give me error because I'm going against their rule. All right. But let's see what I'm going to have. Okay. Enter your name here. Let's say uh, I said Emmanuel. You can see that it's not coming out. I'm having good evening. All right. Okay. Let me call the X. Let's say I pass in X here. It's very good
So
to be.
it's
It's
showing
showing.
with the entire name.
Yeah, it's showing. That's what I entered now. That's where I entered the
Okay.
name. That's why I typed the name. But
All
let me
right.
try this. Now you can see that this guy is already telling me that there's an error. X is not what? Defined. So anytime you're having this one not defined, know that you have error. Don't even try it. Okay? Don't even try it. So it won't work. Or let's say I cut this one out. I cut it out. When you begin to be inquisitive in programming, that's what makes you a good programmer. If not, you just be copying people's code and be saying, I'm the one that did it. You can see that it has not still recognized my X. So even if I try to run this one, to tell me it's not defined, S is not defined, so it can't work. So it says cannot assign to a lambda word function. So it's because of this guy here. So you take advantage of the user defined function. User defined function is very flexible. You can twist it to whatever you want to achieve. Okay, please, any question?
No, no, sir.
All right, we want to enter another aspect. Sorry, this is just procedural programming, so everything you are learning here, those people that want to go and learn JavaScript, they will still teach you in JavaScript. So it's better you know all those things. Then if you want to do C++, they will still teach you in C++. So procedural programming. When we are done with procedural programming, we now can now say, okay, well, let's be talking about GUI of Python for building applications. So let's say we are done with function. Let's go to another aspect of this class, conditional statements. All right. Let's look at conditional statement. A conditional statement, they are used to execute statement based on different conditions. Is somebody on the road? Execute statement based on different words condition. And the statement I'm going to look at today is the if statement. So after I'm done, I'll call it a day. We'll continue tomorrow with conditional statement. So what the if statement said is that the if statement, this is the syntax. If condition. All right, inside this bracket you go for your statements. All right, so what they are telling us is, for the if condition to work, for the statement of the if to work, the condition must be what? True. Are you there? If the condition is false, your statement will not be executed. Let me give you an example. Let's say I declared a variable here. I said s is equals to 50. All right. But I said if I gave you in your class of operator, I said the equals is not called equals, Abby. I think I've said that. The real equals is equals.
Assign.
Yeah.
Okay, equals.
The equals is called assign. So this one is the equals. So if I say if s equals to what? 50, and I said statement can be print anything. Oh, print I love Python. I love Python class. All right. Now this condition is true, Abby, because x is what? 50. It will be executed. I love Python class. Are you getting it? But if I say s equals 40, this statement will not be executed. Are you seeing it? Because this condition is false. I said my s is assigned to be what? To be 50. How come I'm saying s equals to what? 40? No, it will not be executed.
Yes.
So the if statement is only executed when the condition, another word for condition is criteria. When the criteria is what? Is true. Okay, so let's do a comparison. Let's say I said y equals to 80. Yeah, I said something here. I said if x is less than y, please, will it be executed?
No, it's close to it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, because x is 50, y is 80,
Right.
so it's less than, so it will be executed. But if I twist it and I said s is greater than what? Than y, it will not be executed because that condition is what? Is a false. Are you guys with me now?
False.
Yes.
Now the
Yes,
question
sir.
now is, as a programmer, will you allow your program to be like this? Because sometimes you may not even be seeing cursor running. People want to see, they want to interact with their program, they want to interact with their application, they want to interact with your code. Do you understand? All right. So you have to put your user into consideration also. So what we have in Python, if you want your user to see results so that they will know that is the value that the person enter, we have another statement called else. All right, else print, then you pass a random, is random, x, the condition is false. The condition is false. So this one that was not executed now, see, something will come outside here now. The condition is false. So this else statement, please, are you with me? Else statement is
Yes.
executed when the if condition is what? Is
It's
false.
false.
All right. When the if condition is what? Is false. Now, what about you have a multiple conditions? Let's say, please permit me to duplicate this code, but I want to modify it. Let's say I have a multiple condition.
Use elif.
So I will know what's going on. Let's say I have a multiple condition that I want to pass. I come here. Other programming, they call it else if. JavaScript call it else if. C++ call it else if. PHP call it else if. Okay, but Python call it elif. If you want to
Elif,
pass
yeah.
in, if you want to pass in another condition, Python call it what? Elif. So let's say I said elif. The first condition was not correct, right? I want this thing to be correct. Let's say I said x is less than or equal to what? Y. Please, before I continue, is this thing true? Is this true?
Sorry,
X is less than
X.
or equal to y.
No, it's not true.
Hmm. We talk about logical
Yeah.
operator. I can see the topic here. I talk about logical operator when I was dealing with operator. Now look at what is binding them now. Less than or equal to.
Okay. Yeah.
From the criteria of equal to, yeah, the first condition is true. The
Yeah.
other condition is false. So when they are binded by or, are you getting it now? When they are binded by or, the law says if either or both criteria is true, the result is true. It means that this is true. Do you
Okay.
understand? It means that this is true. So if I pass in a statement, I say print uh, Python is good. Python is good. Now when it gets here, it will execute this. My else statement will not execute. Are you saying it as Python is good? So what the interpreter check is that he checked the first condition. Is it true?
Recording is on.
If that condition is true, it will execute it. Now let's say you now have another condition again. You check it. So any condition that is true, it will execute it. Will just leave the other part. But when you have a false, this one now is false. But this one now is what is true. So it gets here. When the compiler gets here, it breaks out of the words of the flow. The else statement will not be executed. Are you with me? The else statement will not be executed. So it is this if statement that will now be executed. Let's say I turn this one to be false. I turn this one to be false. Let's say I said s is greater than y, which is not true. And I run it. You see that the else statement to be what? The condition is false. Are you seeing it? So the advantage of this is you can have multiple flow. So I can have if. Probably I want to check all multiple criterias. Are you getting it? If I want to check multiple criteria, let's say I said okay, s is equals to sorry, s is equals to, let's say s is equals to y. That's not true. Then I come here and say s is not equal to what? Equal to y. Then I come here and say uh, x s is equals to 40, s is equals to 10. That's not true. Then here and I say x is less than what? Less than y. For you to know that this thing is working, let me put 1 here. I'll put 2 here. Abi, I'll put 3 here. So I'll be able to differentiate it. I'll put 4 here. Then I'll put 5 here. Cause so if I run it now, see, oh, it is the one that is correct that will be executed. 2 is correct. X, yeah. Is this not correct? X is not equal to what? Y. Yeah. X is what? 50. Y is what? 80. That's true. It's not equal to.
So it ignores the
It
the
ignores,
wrong one.
yeah, it ignores others. It ignores others. Once you see the one that is condition is true, it will execute it. But when there is
That's
no,
because it's an if, right?
because it's an if, is a condition.
Condition, because it's the if condition. Okay.
Yes. But if there is no condition that is true here, it will go for the X statement.
The else, yes. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes. Then, sorry, you talked about the other thing you raised the other time, like
Mm.
forgotten what you called it. About the when you asked if the 50, I mean the x and the y
Mm.
is true or false. There was what you mentioned there. I didn't get it. Yeah,
Uh,
don't know if-
it
the first example you gave before you now did this multiple choice that you talked about, it follows the first condition.
okay. This one. Okay, is it when I
Yeah,
was talking
no,
about
the one you did greater
or?
than and
Okay,
yes, yes, or the
yeah,
equal, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So that one now,
Mm.
you said it follows the first statement that is true,
Yes,
ignoring the second one too.
ignoring the second one that is false. That is the condition for
Mm,
all.
for all, okay,
Yes,
okay,
because all those equality symbol is all, less than or equal to, greater than or
okay,
equal to, not equal to.
okay.
Not equal to is already a negation. But when it is and, please, you have to go back to this logical operator. I can see the topic here. Uh, when once it is and says that both condition must be true. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Both condition must be
Yes,
true for you to have a true. But if
true.
any one among them is false, it is a false. If both is a
Yes.
false, it is a false. That's the criteria for that. Let me see the topic here. I think it's inside operator. Yeah, he's here. You can comment it out and you see it. This is it here. This is it here. I use a symbol.
Okay.
I said this symbol represents and. This one represents and. Why this pipe represents or. So you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
true or true is true. True or false is true. False or false is false.
False.
This thing is confusing, but is if you understand it, this thing it will not be difficult. True and true is true. True and false is false because it's and. False and false
Okay.
is false. For it to be true here, both must be true. But this one says if any of them is true, it is what?
It
True.
is true. But if any of them is false, in the or, if any of them is false, it's
It,
false.
if both of them is
Is also
false,
true.
if both of them
If
is
both of it's
false,
only when if both of them is false, it's
it
false.
is
But
false.
if one,
Is
yeah,
true.
even if one and one is true, it's true.
Is true.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So you can
I think
jot
I
it down. I'm
understand.
going to end this class here. Please ensure you go through all those things. I will continue with
All right.
control flow statement next class. I will give an assignment so that you're able to digest what we have just done. Please, Divine, are you good? Is it there?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's call it a day. See you guys tomorrow. I will drop the video there also. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.